Hello, my name is Dumpster, and welcome to the dump. Someone living in the attic.
We need to investigate everybody who worked on Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Because somebody who was in that room is a time traveler, and I am sure of that. If I were to tell you 13 years ago a game developer would predict the future, you'd probably call me crazy, right? But stay with me. You see, Black Ops 2 was released in November of 2012, and in every single Call of Duty game, there's a campaign. And in the campaign of Black Ops 2, China and the United States are in a Cold War. But why exactly did China and the United States get into a Cold War? As it says right here, it's because China stopped exporting rare earth elements, which is something that sounds ridiculously insane, like that would never happen. Only yesterday, that's what China did. You may be thinking, oh my gosh, this is a reach. It's a video game who said sometime in the future this would all happen. But it gets even crazier when you realize when Black Ops 2 was set. Because in this video game, it's not set in 2012. In fact, it is set in the year 2025, as in the year 2025 that we are in. Meaning that 13 years ago, the game development team that was building Black Ops 2 accurately predicted all of this down to the exact year that this is happening.
Call of Duty is the Psy-Op final boss.
Have you ever heard of Nicholas J. Clayton? This is me standing next to St. Mary's Cathedral. He designed in 1872 and was done in 1874. What about the Ursuline Academy? Done in 4 years. Wow, incredible. Maybe you've heard of Old Red, the Ashbel Smith building in Galveston, Texas. Nicholas J. Clayton, again. Here's Mr. Clayton's St. Patrick's Church, completed in 1877, being raised. How'd they do that? He also designed Grace Church here in Galveston. 1 year to build. Magnificent. Maybe you've seen Bishop's Palace, and it is a palace indeed. It's in Galveston, Texas, one of Nicholas J. Clayton's. Maybe you've heard of Ball High School in Galveston, looking like a state capitol. Wow. Nicholas J. Clayton was a fine architect, obviously, but who were the foremen, the masons, the carpenters, the stonecutters, the bricklayers? Who were the gentlemen that built these structures? In under 4 years, this one was. The Ursuline Academy? I don't know. It's just the questions that I have today. You can call it Tartarian, you can call it whatever the heck you want. I'm just curious why nobody else is curious. I hope I started your rabbit hole. Have a good day.
A very impressive man. Or a slave trader.
There's a bike on it. There's nobody there. Here you go. Like drive. Yo, that's creepy. What?
What the?
They've been cloning animals for quite a while, and in the hybrid programs that I was associated with, they were cloning not only species like plants and animals, but they were also regenerating tissues of extraterrestrials and growing them and then cloning them. And then they started cloning humans a very long time ago. It's interesting now that in the news, after talking about this a few times, that now they're coming forward. China just has been doing it forever, but in their underground facilities, cloning people and cloning, of course, you heard about, they cloned their first primate. And hey, they can clone a primate. This verifies what I'm talking about. Well, they can definitely clone a human. And they're also growing humans for organs. And, there's a big controversy behind this. But clones are everywhere. Human, extraterrestrial, they're wandering all over. Some people refer to these as doppelgangers because they can grow a human to look like someone and mind program and implant them with circuitry and things like this. And they will really think they had this life and implant them into a business or into whatever organization they want.
Now Mark Zuckerberg makes sense.
Middle of the Everglades. An old NASA space rocket, 100 foot underground from the Cold War. Look at this thing. Actual rocket, space rocket. That is wild. We're stepping on this concrete because I don't trust these grates too much here.
No, you won't end up in a drink.
That's crazy.
That's cool, bro.
Fog is back with vengeance, y'all. Wait till you see this compilation I put together. This right here is in LA. It's like double potent this time around. And this one right here is in Oklahoma. Look how this dense fog goes right under the tops of all these buildings. I've never seen a city look like this. And completely unrelated and irrelevant. My whole family had headaches today, y'all. And yesterday. What about y'all? Look at that whole thing just popping crazy. Back to the point, this is South Carolina and the particles are on full blast. I know my doorbell cam was showing me the same thing lately. Yeah, I'm in South Carolina. It almost looks like snow, doesn't it? I mean, that's some thick stuff. Brief intermission, people have been seeing this all over the United States. The same exact colors, just sitting in the sky while it's all going on. This is my buddy Conscious right there. He's in Florida, and my goodness, y'all, the strength of this stuff. I mean, you can barely see 10 foot. Then we got Florida with the Hadron Collider particles just blasting through the sky. Of course, we got the fog just chilling with the bags, if you get what I'm saying. Can't believe those things are still up there. But if you've seen my last video, then you know what I think. But what do y'all think? Let me know in the comments.
Mind control via weather manipulation, I do declare. The Freemasons are my homies. They super chill, bro.
What's going on? Oh, what the?
Sorry, that was me. I crashed my ship.
Can somebody tell me how there's a house right here? See the house? Look, there's a house right there. But then when you look in this window... Oh, shit.
Here's Post Malone's new ad for Oreo cookies. Let's take a look at that cookie. See that symbol? I'm sure you know what it stands for by now. When people say what's taking so long, it's because of this. This doesn't go away overnight.
What does that swirl mean?
Phoenix, Arizona was founded by multiple Freemasons, and soon after became home to other fraternal organizations. What's interesting about that is Phoenix sits on the 33rd parallel, which this red line represents. In previous videos, I've discussed all the anomalous events surrounding the Four Corners area, which is why I found this hotspot interesting on a ley line map. And the symbolism behind naming this city Phoenix is because the mythological phoenix represents rising from the ashes. And this land was once home to the Hohokam people, which is an ancient civilization said to have been around 300 BCE to 1400 CE. Their largest hub was called Snaketown, and now sits the Valley of the Sun, because the sun's east to west travel runs parallel to Phoenix's grid-like design. Back to the 33rd parallel, the Great Pyramids of Giza sit on the 33rd parallel, as well as Baghdad, Iraq, which is interesting because there's a Baghdad, Arizona mining town near the 33rd parallel. Not far from Phoenix are the Blythe geoglyphs, which sit on the 33rd parallel. Roswell crash site is on the 33rd parallel. How about the symbolism behind the first atom bomb? Because during the term of Harry Truman, the 33rd president, Trinity Testing Grounds was on the 33rd parallel, 210 miles south of Los Alamos, New Mexico. If that isn't crazy enough, both Nagasaki and Hiroshima were detonated on the 33rd parallel. Back to Phoenix. I'm sure most aren't aware of Hunt's tomb. Governor George P.W. Hunt entombed his wife in 1931, and then he was put in there in 1934. I'm going to do a part 2 and go more in depth into the Masonic symbolism within Phoenix.
Freemasons are the best, bro.
Bruh. I'm walking down the street here and I'm going by the General Electric Niagara Mohawk building, whatever it is, and check this out. Yeah. This is what's on the building. The power building. You have to be me. Could it be more obvious what they're telling you? Right across the street, you've got talking cursive. And then right next to that, you've got Cafe Kubal. The Kubal, talking cursive, and then that. Good Jesus, Mary and Joseph, oh my God. Maybe I'm just reading the signs a little bit too much or overly perceptive. I don't think so.
Bro reaching. Where is he?
Demon Face is going crazy, y'all. So I've compiled just a few videos of these transformations going on that we keep seeing with really popular and big people. And it's just so insane to me because they say the eyes are the windows to the soul. Did you see that? You gotta be looking at that, not me. What? Like, what would you even suppose that this is? I'm sure we've all heard the different myths and the legends and, the things down there under the ground, miles down, those things, but could they be demons? If you ask me, I would just say that we literally live in the movie They Live, and this is always stuff going on around us. People on stages, on the movies, on TVs, just all the time, and we just can't see them for what they really are. And of course, when this kind of stuff is visually not going on, we kind of have something different. Like right now, everyone's watching the video of the Beebs, and they're like, why is he acting so freaking weird? It's like, these celebrities will just start glitching. Like, they literally just act weird. Y'all do remember the messages from Kanye's manager, right? Yeah, just making sure.
That's crazy.
Found this tree to be quite interesting because, as you can see on the left side of the tree, there's lots of fruit. But as we move over to the right side, there's hardly any, except for maybe a few sickly oranges over on this side. So I was wondering why this would be, and one possible reason is that right next to this side of the tree is a smart meter. So all day, every day, the smart meter is sending out pulses of microwave radiation just a couple feet from the side of the tree. So it's a pulse like that. And those.
Nature is killing nature. That's crazy, bro. Thanks for watching, you stupid humans.